Massachusetts Lawyers Weekly recognized Robert Rayner as one of the most influential lawyers of the past 25 years. But what many people don't know is that Robert is a marketing genius whose innovative, results-oriented ideas have literally changed the way business is done. He and his Rayner agency have become synonymous with the words results, bringing new and emerging technologies that generate lots of business for his clients. His methods are built on accountability. Today, the Insider Exclusive introduces to America an amazing new partnership between India's #1 search engine, Justdial, and Rayner Agency. Justdial is India's #1 search engine with a presence on the phone as well as the web, answering over 100 million calls for anyone looking for a business listing in any category and connecting the call free. They are essentially Google and 411 information all rolled up together. And there's no automated messages, no robotic voices, and no waiting time on hold. 45 seconds is the max that gives you your connection. You don't need a computer, you don't need an internet connection, and you don't even need your keypad on your phone or mobile device. 1-800-JUST-DIAL is a free information search engine for your phone. You just dial 1-800-JUST-DIAL, say where, say what you're looking for, and you will be connected with the business you choose. Anything, anywhere, anytime, at the click of a finger, dial 1-800-JUST-DIAL. Justdial and Rayner Agency have begun their Rollout American campaign by signing up businesses of every nature in every U.S. location by area code to exclusive lead generation contracts. Learn how you can benefit in this new technology revolution. Hi, I'm Steve Murphy, and this is the Insider Exclusive, live from Medford, Massachusetts, at the firm of Rayner & O'Connor and Rayner Agency. It's my great privilege to introduce Robert Rayner of the Rayner Agency and Vishal Parekh of Justdial. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is a joint partnership between Justdial and Rayner, your agency, Rayner Agency. Tell us a little bit about your agency first.
Well, the Rayner Agency is a very small marketing and advertising agency that's dedicated to assisting companies that are looking to market their leads to other businesses. For example, in this instance, if somebody calls Justdial looking for a lawyer, we're assisting Justdial in generating that lead and turning it over to a lawyer to handle the call.
And you've been doing this type of innovative marketing for, I think, 20 years, as long as you've been a lawyer, right?
Exactly.
Always looking for new ways but this goes beyond just lawyering. This could also apply to any type of...
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Lawyering is probably a very small portion of what's a much bigger picture for Justdial, which is to generate tens of millions of calls across the United States for any kind of service.
Yeah. Now, Vishal, you are the vice president of India's #1 local search engine, aren't you?
Yes.
Which is called Justdial. Tell our audience, because a lot of people are not familiar with Justdial, the success you've had in India.
Sure. Justdial basically is around a 14-year-old company, and the way we terminology used to describe Justdial is a multifold local search company. Where we do provide information over the phone at the same time, or over the smartphone, which is web service, and also on the website.
So basically, someone can pick up a phone.
Yes.
And they can dial 1-800-JUST-DIAL.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Or a number designated in whatever country.
Yes.
And they can get information about anything, correct?
Yes, about anything, and you're done in 60 seconds. So that's exactly what the mantra we use is. We don't want people to hold on to the phone, get the info, precise info, to a designated place. It can be a zip code, it can be a neighborhood, it can be a city, it can be a state.
You connect these people.
Yes, we connect these people.
And in India, I think you're handling about 100 million calls a year. Is that correct?
Yes.
That's a huge number. Now, most importantly, it is free to the people who call, isn't it?
When it comes to the United States market, yes, it's free. It's a toll-free service, so it's a free concierge service, if you have to say that. It's basically, if I have to term that, it's a one-call solution for all your needs. When it comes to a restaurant, it comes to a movie schedule, it comes to a doctor, it comes to a lawyer.
Right.
It's a one-stop solution.
So when a person calls, let's say from Boston here, okay, because you're introducing it to America with Rob's agency, right? When a person calls 1-800-JUSTDIAL, someone answers the phone, a live operator, right?
Correct.
And they ask them what can they do for them, correct? It says, I want to get a lawyer in Medford.
Okay.
Right? And then you have access to a database which you have built.
Correct.
Correct? And then they will connect them to the one at the top, or what?
Yes. Yes, it's going to be one of the top listings there. So what we do here is, the lawyers who get connected are handpicked by Justdial in terms of providing the best service, and that's again true with the help of Rayner Agency.
How does a law firm, Rob, get to the top on this dial access?
Well, Justdial wouldn't just settle for any law firm or any agency or any service. They've actually connected with Martindale-Hubbell and LexisNexis to service people across the country who are looking for a lawyer by connecting them to the LexisNexis database.
So that's where you're connected for the lawyers right now. So those are LexisNexis, Martindale rated.
Exactly. They're top lawyers in every city or state where people are calling from.
We happen to have with us, thanks to Rob, a 30-second commercial about how this works. So we're going to go to that right now so our audience understands it.
Say your city and state, please.
New York, New York.
Thank you. How may I help you?
I really need a plumber.
Sure. May I have your intersection, zip code, or neighborhood, please?
Times Square?
Thank you. I can connect you to the top listing, which is AAA Plumbing.
Great, thanks.
I'm connecting your call now. Please hold.
AAA Plumbing, how may I help you?
Call 1-800-JUST-DIAL.
That was a really interesting commercial, and that is being launched now across the country?
Yes, about to.
Okay. Describe your business model of how this works for not only, we're sticking to lawyers right now, but just for lawyers as well as the consumers. To the consumer, it's free.
Absolutely.
And the advantage that I saw when we were driving over here was I don't have to look at a map. I don't have to look at my computer, anything. I just call and I can say, okay, where is Robert Rayner's office? And a live operator will direct me there and it'll connect me to the office, correct?
Correct. Also, the live operator will send a text message for you so that you can always store it in your phone and dial that number out.
Automatically?
Automatically.
At no charge?
For receiving the text message, Justdial doesn't charge anything, but again, the subscriber, that means the caller has to check what plan is he using for getting that service.
From the local provider?
From the local provider, yes.
Okay. Now, Google 411 has something similar to this, don't they?
Correct.
Tell our audience the big differences.
We at Justdial believe every business has this right to demonstrate its skill set. Now, the difference which we say when it comes to Google 411 and 1-800-JUST-DIAL is a live operator. It's a concierge service. That means it cannot go wrong. The voice recognition cannot fail, or I cannot get directed to a wrong person. And if you have to check, usually a voice recognition lead penetration ratio is around 30 to 35%, where when it comes to a human assistance, it goes as high as around 55 to 65% by giving you the right info.
So by connecting the person to your end user, you are actually improving the odds that they can end up with a client.
Yes, that's one way to look at it. However, it also helps in terms of talking to the right person at the right time when you need the most.
Yeah.
So that's what we aim for.
Now, this is operational 24/7, isn't it?
Correct.
365 days a year.
Anytime.
Your company in India has about, what, 4,000 employees, if I remember correctly?
Correct.
And from what I read, you're looking to hire, although initially all the calls are going to be operated from your operational centers, your call centers in India.
Correct.
You're looking to bring it here to the United States and hire something like, what, about 1,000 new people?
Yes, that's part of our strategy where, first we try to absorb our infrastructure in India, where we have around 14 cities presence at, where we can operate our call center from. However, as a long-term strategy, we definitely want to open up something in the United States and take the volume here too.
Besides the legal field, this also applies to electricians, plumbers, anything.
Any business,
Yeah.
any business.
What has been in India the most popular categories that you've found to be that people call the most? What are they looking for mainly?
They're looking for instant help. And that's one thing which we found in India and which we found anywhere in the world is the same logic.
Okay.
People need something instantly. And that's where we come into picture. It can be a cab, it can be a travel ticket, or it can be a painter, or it can be a carpenter. Or it can be a plumber.
Yeah.
So again, what we found is, if you provide info instantly,
Yeah.
people will love to actually call 1-800-JUST-DIAL rather than sticking their fingers on net and trying to find information.
In the legal field, because of Martindale-Hubbell, you have a rating system where you can see, who's a good lawyer and who's rated whatever. What about painters and carpenters and electricians? How do you determine who's the best there?
So we encourage everybody to first do a free listing with us, and that's what our database is. And then we try to contact these companies and try to find out what they're doing. So we have our in-house team which actually works on it.
Yeah. And how is your agency marketing this, Rob?
Well, we feel very fortunate that Justdial has allowed us to approach lawyers and other businesses to assist them in selling their leads. Yeah. It's not a difficult sell because the way that Justdial has designed it is you only pay for results.
Right.
Businesses are only going to pay if leads are actually being sent to them, and that business model is very attractive across the board.
How does that work? I mean, when you say when lawyers get a lead because someone called 1-800-JUST-DIAL for legal help,
yes,
and the lawyer ends up getting a client, or they pay for the lead?
They pay for a lead because that's the requirement.
How do you know how many leads go to whatever lawyer and that sort of thing?
So we have an internal tracking system for that. Again,
So you build them per lead?
We build them per lead. We have a different module, so we're coming up with something very new and very, energetic way of attracting people maybe around 2 months down the line, and you'll see a lot of other new things happening with 1-800-JUST-DIAL.
Okay, if I am a lawyer watching this show right now, and I see 1-800-JUST-DIAL, how do I know what my pricing is going to be if I sign up with you?
So there is a sales representative who can always get in touch. Again, the lawyer can call Rayner Agency, and they can pick it up with us, and we can find out how it's going to work out.
And if any lawyer is interested in participating in this program, all they have to do is give me a call, or anyone at our agency, and we'll give them the details right away.
Yeah.
It's one of those situations where you want to get very similar to, for example, abbreviated dialing codes. You want to get in at the beginning, at the base level, before other lawyers take advantage of this opportunity.
Yeah. As with Google, you can pay to be at the top of the list. Okay. Is that possible with Justdial?
It's definitely possible right now. What we're looking at is, a stable program. Right now, we're trying to focus on our callers at this point to give them optimum service.
Yeah.
Service which they've never ever used it in the United States.
Yeah.
So we definitely can look at that, but right now our priorities lie with our service program, that is servicing our users who call us and provide them the best of the service.
Are there some areas where you've built up a database more than other areas, like the major metropolitan cities or what?
No, we are located our database is all around U.S., so it's not particularly to a tri-state region or to Boston or a particular area. Now we are open 24/7 to receive calls for information all across.
Okay, so right now if I call 1-800-JUST-DIAL and I want a lawyer in Omaha, Nebraska, do you have a database for that?
It depends what zip code I'm looking at, but we have a system where definitely there's something for each zip code or each city.
And as more people call in, you build up your database.
Correct.
How do you internally build up your database so that you have that available for initially the people calling?
So we have partners across when it comes to the U.S. business in terms of providing data, and then we rebuild that data with our internal technology team. That's where Sandeepan's team comes in the picture, and our data team comes into the picture, where we have a strong, around 75 people, working on the existing data to enrich them, how to come across and how to provide information, give the right information. At the same time, enrich that data to the max level. So, for example, we can come out with something where we say, hey, you refer a friend. So, for example, you spoke to a lawyer, you liked it, just refer it. You can put it on our website once we're going to launch it. And then, whenever your friend calls, we can tell them, okay, you know what, this has been referred by your friend. So we're talking about testimonials and not about reviews.
Okay. Now, I understand you have your Chief Technology Officer here today.
Yes.
And you both just flew in from India, correct?
Absolutely.
And we'd like because he can describe exactly how this works for all the techies out there.
Correct.
And his name is Sandy?
Yes, his name is Sandeepan Chattopadhyay. That's basically, we call him Sandy.
Sandy. And so why don't we bring him on right now so he can describe more in depth so people understand how successful this is, okay?
Sure.
It's my great pleasure to introduce Sandy, the Technology Officer, Chief Technology Officer, right? At Justdial. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about how all this works, because in India you're handling almost 100 million calls a year.
That's right.
Everyone is connected to a live operator. It seems amazing. How do you do it?
Well, a lot of it is about making the search process very easy for the operator to operate on. So we took it to one more layer of putting in the human touch factor to it.
So you had a huge database. You added the human factor into it.
Absolutely.
And so when someone calls, you can look things up by, like in the United States, it's going to be by zip code.
You can look at by various options.
Various sections. If I'm driving a car and I'm in Philadelphia and I'm not from Philadelphia and I've just been in an automobile accident and I want a lawyer or whatever, or I need some repair or something, how do I tell your operator where I am? I just say Philadelphia. I'm not familiar with the area. How do I do that?
See, part of it is that we do some sort of a geo-tracing based on the originating place of the call to some extent.
From the phone.
From
it's
the
kind of
phone.
like GPSing.
If it's there's a kind of thing that you're saying is an out-of-station person, he's on a roaming set. In that case, we probably would not be able to triangulate it first.
Yeah.
But if he's calling up, then we'd ask him to say what last location can he remember that he passed by. That would be our approach.
You mean like a town?
A town that
point
he
of
passed
interest
by.
or any attractive place, if it's a tourist.
Yeah. So before coming even to America, you had to accumulate a huge database.
Absolutely.
Based on the geography of the country.
But the beauty of US is that all of this data is in public domain and it's published by the government of USA.
Yeah.
So there's a tiger line scheme which actually gives the entire topography of geological topography.
What is that word you used?
The tiger line is a census data of US which gives the entire street topology and the states and the...
And you have all that in your database?
Yes. So we use public domain data
now,
and we processed it.
And that includes the different types of trades or things that people are looking for, right? Electricians, plumbers, lawyers, doctors.
There are multiple layers. So that data is not available from any United States source.
That's the in-house team which works on that data.
And that's what I want you to explain, how you did all that.
See, the thing is, there are 3 layers of data. Part of it is our expertise. Part of it is the socio-economic clustering and the geological data, which we get, demographic data, so to say, which we get from the country of origin. And the third part is the actual business listing, which in the case of USA, we access through one of our channel partners, which is Axiom. So what our specialty is in cooking these three data up in a cohesive sense, so that it has a tie-in to the geological data we have collected, to our expertise as to what people intend to search for when they mean a particular thing.
Right, so when a person calls up and says, I need a lawyer, your live operator says, well, what has happened?
Exactly.
Well, that's great, and I'm sure this is going to be very successful, and I want to thank you for joining us. I'm going to bring Rob back on right now. But thank you. You provided a lot of insight that we needed. I got to tell you, Rob, listening to Vishal and Sandy, this is an amazing partnership. If I'm a lawyer out there right now, I'm a consumer, what words do you want to say so that they can be part of this program? They can use it.
Well, I would encourage anybody who is watching the show to dial 800 Justdial and just to try out the service. Take it for a test drive, sign up, and I think you're going to be as amazed as I am when you try the service at just how efficient, fast, friendly, accessible it is. It's so much different than sitting at your keyboard and banging away at google.com.
Right.
I don't know why people will use Google anymore, frankly.
Or try to text on your phone getting in an accident, right?
That's very true, too, yes.
What would you like to say to our audience?
Oh, very simple. Call 1-800-JUST-DIAL. It's anytime, anywhere, anything you want. So just experience the service and see how it works for you.
Right. Convenience, 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 right?
Yes.
And the human touch.
And the human touch.
And it's free.
And it's free.
And it's free.
Okay, good. Well, thank you very much for being on the program. We're going to try that. 1-800-JUST-DIAL. Thanks for joining us. You can get more information about our guest and the issues at insiderexclusive.com.